I'm kind of like a, I think people like my because I'm kind of a unique kind of character.
And I have
You just see how games and possessions fit into how they mean more.
I'm not putting him on.
I think the U.S. is going to obviously win.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Nothing But Respect. My name is Harry Krinsky. I am joined by Patrick Redford, and we have a special guest today. We have Devon Walker. You might know him from a TV show called Saturday Night Live. You might know him from the My Favorite Lyrics podcast. You might have heard his voice in Big Mouth. There's all kinds of places you might know him from. Devon, how's it going?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. Somehow this is like one of the first sports pods that I've been on, so it's like this is right. This is where I should be. So I'm excited to get into it.
Well, before we started recording, you were talking about the burden of being the tallest player on the floor and having to play in the post, which is not a fun way to be, but I feel the total opposite way. Because I've been this tall since I was in the 7th grade, so I learned to post stuff first, which means that now I have to get down in the post and I kind of love it. I love doing those fuck ass half hooks. It's so stupid, but it's I have zero wing skills whatsoever. So.
I mean, so do I, but I just like to do it. You know what I'm saying? We probably have the same amount of ability on the wing. Also, I wasn't like you. I was normal height. I was truly right in the middle of the pack, all the way up until high school. So I wasn't tall. So I was playing. I was a shooter when I was in middle school because I was playing the 3 when I was that age because that's where I was size wise, and then. Between sophomore and junior year, I went from being 5'10" to 6'2".
Damn.
And then all of a sudden it's all right, we need you down there. And
grab some rebounds, man.
I've not, which I don't mind that part. It's really offensively. I don't even like playing offense in basketball. I legitimately love getting paired up on defense with the biggest guy out there and just putting my elbow into his back. I like putting my elbow into his back and trying to swat guys' shots when they come inside. I mostly play basketball so I can block shots.
Wow.
If I can get 3 blocks in a day of a pickup run and score no points, I've had the day that I want to have. And a couple dimes, I like passing. I like playing like Joakim Noah. That's that's the kind of energy I like, playing ugly basketball, shooting shots that nobody believes in based on my form, and grabbing some boards and blocking some shots and setting some dirty picks. That's what I'm out there to do. I'm setting some.
This sounds like it sounds like this is the ideal pickup basketball player. You're trying out it's the last man left, and you're yo, I will do the dirty work. I will help us win.
Bro, for real.
I
don't even need to get shot. Give me 1 or 2 threes. I'll probably miss. I'll miss one. If you give me 3 threes, I'll miss at least 2, if not all 3. Sure. But I might hit one, and then I like playing with guys who are really good offensively, so I can just do all the shit that they don't want to do. That's really, I don't even need to get a lot of shots. Y'all dribble. In college, I played with guys who all played at least high level AAU, if not some college ball. And so they would be shooting shots and they'd be try to get the board. And I'll get up there. I played football growing up, so I'll grab the board. I'll pass it right back to you. I don't need to dribble. I get it right back to you, brother. I play with a journeyman spirit. I play one of the
Pat Spencer.
Yeah, totally. I play like a guy who had a solid but unspectacular 12-year career in the league. That's
your game reminds me. You got to have a glue guy. Mm-hmm. Can't win without him. Your game reminds me of Hugo Gonzalez, the Spanish guy on the Celtics this year, who only shoots on accident and will get 12 boards a game and just play crazy defense and only touches the ball for a second at a time and just keeps it moving.
Right back to you. You got it.
I had one other question about your pickup game, which is I have heard that there is, and I've read this New York Times article about the stand-up comedy pickup basketball game. Mm-hmm. Are you ever playing in that? Are any of them nice at basketball? What's going on there?
That's the game I played in yesterday. And
okay, so there you go.
Yeah, that's the game I played in yesterday. And we were talking about this off mic. Normally I don't shoot, but yesterday, for whatever reason, I made my first three, which I think is one of the most dangerous things that can happen. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's not really that good of a shooter hitting their first three, then they're like, oh, well, I got it today. And
here come 9 more.
Randomly yesterday, I did have it, and I truly shot like 60% from three, which never happens. But yeah, I think I do play in that game. I played in it yesterday. Sam Morrill is like a really good hooper. Sam Morrill he's really consistent, and like day in, day out is like I like guarding a guy like that because he really will like make you see where your game is at. Sam Morrill's really good. Ben Marshall, the redheaded guy from SNL, he's like 6'5", 6'6", and he has told me on multiple occasions that he was the only white guy on his AAU team. Which, you know what I'm saying? And you see it.
That's the type of guy for sure.
You see it.
Yeah.
And he's a real shooter and can kind of do a little bit of everything. Who else? There's this guy named John Reynolds, who he's not a stand-up, but he was on that TV show Search Party. He's from Wisconsin. And whatever you imagine when you think of like a 6'5" white boy hooper from Wisconsin, he's exactly that.
Tyler Hero.
Yeah. Yes. I think Tyler Hero's from like Milwaukee or like that area.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he can like really shoot and like has a competitive streak. So there's a couple guys who are like clearly like, oh, you played basketball for real. Yeah, but most of us kind of suck, and I like playing. I like playing with comedians because everybody's got like a pretty realistic sense of where they are. And I don't know if y'all have ever played in like rec league basketball, but I'll never do that again because I'm like, oh, y'all got too much pride on the line. This is the only place where some of you guys get to feel special, and you're gonna do something nasty to me, and I can't have that.
There was a guy I played with and against briefly at the Oakland YMCA who's now banned for life because he brought a gun.
Yeah,
it was like threatening people, and it's like, man, it's Sunday, like everyone's washed here. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, there's always a guy. Or there's like in those rec leagues, I played a couple seasons of a rec league when I lived in Texas. And the most dangerous guy is a guy who comes out and he has like he's mostly nondescript, but then you'll see his shorts, and his shorts will say it'll say University of Virginia basketball. You know what I'm saying? And then he comes out there and is truly like booming on guys and shooting threes and being like a monster out there. And then you'll be like, yo, did you play D1 basketball? And he'll be like, yeah, but I was just like a practice guy. And I'm like, you're the best basketball player I've ever seen in my life. How are you not how are you not like the star of like a, tournament team? Yeah. And I those kinds of guys made me stop playing in those leagues. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, one of the things we wanted to talk about with anytime we have a new guest on, it's always interesting because basketball fandom has gotten so weird, and it's like, 15 years ago we would have all been watching, or we all were probably watching SportsCenter, and now it's like 10 million different ways to follow the NBA. How do you? I know you're a Spurs fan. How do you what does your fandom look like on a week-to-week basis? Are you listening to basketball podcasts? Are you just watching the games? Like just Instagram pages? Like how do you keep up to date with basketball?
I feel like I'm mainly tracking what's happening in the league from basketball podcasts. I feel like I loosely, I'll watch games when they're like on at a bar or whatever, but like I don't really pay attention to real basketball until like post Super Bowl, so like post All-Star game, and that's when I when the playoff races are really starting to heat up. I'm not diving in. I can't be watching like a bunch of full games in like October. That's none of my business. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah, so it's mainly after the Super Bowl, after the All-Star break, when the season's like kind of really getting going in like March or April, and then the playoffs. I watch as much playoff basketball as possible. But before that, it's mainly through podcasts, and I listen to guys who really watch the NBA professionally to kind of figure out what's like the nitty gritty of what's going on. That's how I learn about what Bones Highland's doing this year, or you know what I'm saying? Or guys will be like, yeah, Norm Powell's having like an incredible year, and I'll be like, yeah, I guess I'll just take your word for it, player, because I'm not watching Jaime Jaquez tape personally.
Yeah, we'll see if that's still happening in 3 months, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many guys like that, like guys that you're like loosely aware of are getting buckets, but it's like, dude, I have not watched a single Ryan Rollins pick and roll.
No.
Like, I know, I get that he's like doing it, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lowe said the other day, he's like, Tijon Salon and Charlotte's like kind of starting to get going. And I was like, I'm so happy for him. That's not my problem.
Yeah. Oh, like if you say Shaden Sharp's really coming along, then I guess you must be right, Zach Lowe, because your job's to know stuff like that. But
I'm dropping it in my own group chats, being like, yeah, you guys see Shaden Sharp's really turned the corner.
Yeah.
Devin, if you're a Spurs fan, have you been watching the Wemby Harper Fox situation we got going this year? Like, have you caught any highlights or anything?
I have been. Now when the Spurs have like a national game on, or especially like if they play the Knicks, I went last year on Christmas. They played the Knicks, and I went to the game.
Amazing.
It was my first time seeing. It was my first time. Wemby almost got us there by himself. That was my first time seeing him in person, and then I also went. He played the Knicks and the Nets within like 3 or 4 days of each other in New York, and I went to both games, and we won one and lost one, but almost beat the Knicks. And this year, yeah, I've been watching like the tournament games when we played the Knicks, and then we just played the Knicks recently, and then we also played OKC on Christmas and in the tournament. I've watched all of those. Anytime we have like a really big one against like a contender and it's like national. I'm tapped into it, and it's so exciting. It's just been we were in the wilderness for like a smooth 8 years, like post Kawhi, pre Wemby, and it just feels so good to have. I mean, I've been spoiled just in general as a Spurs fan. I've watched so much good championship level basketball, but like I had the better part of a decade where it was just DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, and we was and those are guys where it's like, if those are the best guys on your team, you're topping out at the 7th seed. And you're losing in the first round. And I saw that happen for about 5-6 years. Then we didn't go to the playoffs for like 3-4 years. So it's like, again, even as a spoiled Spurs fan, there was no reason for hope for almost a decade. So it feels so good to like have young guys that we can be excited about. Cause I haven't had that since Kawhi came in. It's been a long time.
And plus, like to me, the defining feature of those DeRozan Aldridge teams is they were just ass to watch. It was just like 18-foot jumper, 17-foot jumper, like nothing cool, nothing fast. And like this particular Spurs team this year plays like the coolest hoops of anyone in the NBA. Like I've been a Fox fan. I'm from Sacramento. I've been a Fox fan forever. And it's like so gratifying to see him like in this perfect situation with like all these other ball handlers and Wemby, and like the team just takes after him in so many ways, and it's amazing to see.
Yeah, man. And it's like, I mean, us getting Fox was so sick because it's even in those Tim Duncan years, it was so hard to get anyone to want to come to San Antonio. Like nobody wanted to be the hottest free agent we ever got was Richard Jefferson. We got Richard Jefferson and we got Pau Gasol like 3 or 4 years too late. And those are the only guys who really, and I guess LaMarcus, but like whatever. And I should have been excited about that because I grew up like 15 minutes from the University of Texas, so it's like he was a UT guy who then came and played in San Antonio, but he was just never my guy. But like it feels so tight to have guys be like, oh, I want to be in San Antonio to be a part of what y'all have going on, and it's the first time that we've had guys that actually are kind of cool, which like I've always pushed back against this. Like, people are like, oh,
I want to talk about this. Yeah.
The team's boring. But like, I thought as a basketball product, I thought we always had like cool basketball players. I think Tony Parker's so underrated. I think Manu was so sick and was such a cool ball player, but it is like kind of objectively like De'Aaron Fox is like so fast and electric to watch. Like fucking what's his Castle's like compete. He's like in the dunk competition. We've never had guys like that, so it's really the first time in my life where I'm like, oh, we have guys that you could actually get excited about, like even as like a casual fan. That feels sick.
When you guys figured out, or when you found out, basically you got the number 1 pick, you're getting Wemby. Yeah. Were you all the way in off rip, like because Wemby's an interesting one obviously if he was on my team, I would fucking love him. But he's an interesting one because he's kind of a weird guy.
Yeah.
You know, he loves, fantasy novels and maybe communist literature and
hey,
hates Las Vegas.
You know what that makes him? You know what that makes him? A San Antonio Spur. That's exactly. I really can't think of a franchise that has managed to get so many superstars that are fitting of the organization. We never have a guy who's like getting in some kind of drug scandal, or it's like he had a pistol at the airport. We never have those guys. All of our guys play like World of Warcraft, and like they're all playing World of Warcraft and they got like a sword collection. That's all of our guys. They're all doing some like left of center shit, and none of them like have like famous IG model girlfriends. We're not doing that. We are going to practice and getting to bed early and reading fantasy novels and going to China to train with the monks. Like that's I could not believe that we got a superstar who is like a generational talent who fits what our organization is so clearly. It's magic. Even Kawhi, we don't even know what he thinks. Kawhi laughed one time and everybody was like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Why is he laughing? Why is he laughing? Why does it feel so inorganic? Like we collect these strange superstars, and I don't know how we've managed to do it, but yeah, we've been really consistent with that.
It must have felt amazing when they asked Wemby about Vegas, and he starts talking like Slavoj Zizek, and he's like, the American consumptive mindset is a virus, and you're just like, 3 rings, easy, we got this.
Truly, it's like all he has to do is stay healthy, which is like, that is truly the big if with him, because he just has the type of body that we haven't seen be durable over like a really long career. There's just not really much of a history of guys who are that size, especially being the number one option on a team. We really don't see that. He's so slender, and he's so like, he's on the ground a lot.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that worries me about him. He's kind of, Embiid is like that too. And Embiid's got way more meat on his bones. And my brother's a big Sixers fan. Like, we got family in PA. But some of these big guys that fall down a lot, I'm always just like, it can't be good. And Wemby's, I just read a thing where it's like he can only miss like 3 more games for the rest of the season to be eligible for like the postseason awards. So it's like it's that part's already, and he's young. He's only 21, and he's already kind of like been hurt. He had the blood clot thing, and now he's had a calf thing this year, and now he's out with like a knee thing. So that part is part's touchy. But if he, God willing, if he can stay healthy, we will get at least 2 to 3 rings during the time that he is on the team.
I was thinking about this with Aaron Gordon the other day, because he's like out with this hamstring thing, and he missed, he had that hamstring thing in the last playoffs, and I was thinking, okay, the Nuggets could win the title if he can stay fully healthy. And then just remembering like the playoffs are like the most brutal physical grind ever. Like we're talking about, tapping in April. That's like, you got 2 months of basketball to watch there. And it's like every other day when the going really gets tough. And we've never seen Wemby in the playoffs. And I'm so excited to see what that looks like, if him playing, 45 minutes or whatever, or like really just banging against crazy coverages and stuff. Like, I think we're going to see some interesting shit, but like, I do wonder if he comes into the offseason and he's like, I need 30 pounds of muscle right now.
Yeah. Right. And then like, how does that impact him like as a player? But it's like, it feels like he has to have it. It feels like he has to have it. Cause like you said, in the playoffs, I feel like the physicality trumps up. You're not getting as many whistles as you're getting in the regular season. And it's also, he just has so much body that I just feel like it's like he needs to.
It's a great way to put it.
He needs to pack. Yeah, there's just so much of him that like, in the same, it's like you heard like Shaq's talked about needing that. Shaq's talked about putting on a bunch of padding, or like me and my girl just watched, she'd never seen The Last Dance, and we watched it. And it's like, even Jordan, who like had a much more like traditional NBA body, was like, oh, I need to pack on muscle to like withstand what happens in the playoffs. Like, I don't really see any other way for Wemby, just because as he's presently constructed, he just doesn't look he looks hurtable. He just looks like
Yeah, he does.
that. Just looks like a guy who you look at and you're like, he's something's gonna happen, and it has been. So like, that's the one thing with him for sure.
There is something to say, like, you know, when Giannis first came to America from France, he was like this small kind of or thin, I should say, like Bambi guy who like didn't know anything about American culture, and like he physically
looked like what Wemby looks like now.
Yeah,
he had that body when he came in.
The question is, could you get one with the other? Because Giannis has he has picked up some parts of American culture. He's got the like blowjob button. He's going on Instagram Live. He's like, I
don't think he's picked up the best parts of what we have to offer. I'll say that. I don't think he's picked up the parts that I would steer him towards personally, but that's his journey.
So what if Wemby like picks up, 45 pounds, is like jacked, doesn't get injured, but is just being like, the future of the American economy is oil. He's just like goes full American.
Sure.
Are you taking that as a Spurs fan?
Look, man, whatever he needs to do to stay on the floor, I am open to it. It feels like, I'd love to see him get shredded. I'd love to see him like have that Giannis transformation. I feel like Giannis, until the last few years, until Giannis like got into his 30s, I feel like he was never hurt. I feel like Giannis was like an Iron Man. You know who else is an Iron Man that like never even had like a outwardly good body is James Harden. That motherfucker always on the floor. Mm-hmm. Harden always on the floor. He always at the strip club enjoying whatever they got going on. Some days he's one of the most durable superstars that we have, and he's never looked especially strong. So like, but whatever Wemby needs to do, if it's get shredded, if it's start going to Magic City to throw ones and like drink tequila, like whatever, which he would never do. I'm sure he's never been to a strip club, but like whatever that looks like. I think
he was the pole.
They gotta legalize. They gotta legalize doping. That's my pitch. Like, get everyone on the. Other people are alleging this, not me. LeBron James off-season plan, and just like it'll be better for the product in every way if all these guys can just like stack 20 pounds of muscle on like a Winstrol cycle easily in the off season. And like, it's fine. Like no one's going to be mad about it, and fewer injuries. It'll be great.
Whatever, bro. Have y'all seen they have that, they're doing an Olympic Games where all the athletes are allowed to juice?
I'm trying to go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When is it?
It's May in Vegas.
Okay. I'm tuning in because I'm like, let's see what these freaks can do.
I wanted to ask, so one of the things we've tracked over the course of this podcast is the real or imagined NBA swag crisis. Talking about like, our player, is Shea a poser? Our players, are they authentically cool, etc. I think you are a good person to talk about this for two reasons. One, because you've got your finger on the pulse, but two, you grew up rooting for the predecessor of the swag crisis, like Tim Duncan and that kind of Duncan Spurs, like that was swag crisis number one. Oh, the boring Spurs there, whatever. So you mentioned earlier that you kind of defend the Spurs swaglessness, or at least that maybe they had second order swag. Yeah. What do you think about the current swag crisis, and what do you think does it even exist? And then we'll defend your old school Spurs for a second.
Well, I guess it's like if we're talking off the court swag, that is something that San Antonio was absolutely lacking in. I think Timmy dressed like an island boy. He like accepted his MVP in like flip flops and like those long denim shorts, because it's like, but that was him being true to himself. I think what is a bummer now is now you have guys who like actually aren't swaggy but have access to a stylist, and they're dressing in a way that doesn't even fit them, but they're like, this is the way that it's cool to dress. I think that it was actually cool to do what Timmy was doing, which is like, this is who I am. Remember when Jared Allen was like wearing like a very incredibly regular guy fit, and everybody who was flaming him? Hey, well, guess who's going to be holding on to his money in 20 years when he's retired? Jared Allen. I guarantee you, because he don't got no fucking $200,000 chain and $5,000 pants, because he's being sensible, which I think is swaggy like in its own right. But it's like we've got this mentality where it's like, oh, you got to have the fly shit on. And I think there's also a difference between like off court swag, which is real. Like I think Shea really does have a good sense of style. Like I think some of these guys like actually do have like cool swaggy styles. But then I also think there's guys who have swag like on the court with the way they play. And the best example of that to me is Steph Curry, who on the court really inspired a brand new, a way of basketball that like didn't exist before him, that like nobody had ever played before, and literally changed the sport. But then like off the court, when you see Steph, he is one of the least swaggy guys kind of in the situation. He's got world. He's a guy who I'm like, you could use just. Why you got khakis on? Why you got he's dressed like a coworker. He's dressed like somebody that you like that you see at like a WeWork space, who's like a really nice guy, but really like nondescript. And he's a guy who his like on court flair and his off court flair don't mesh at all. I think the Spurs were kind of like that. I think the Spurs are a team that like on the court, especially that version of it where Timmy was a little bit older and like Manu and Tony were a little bit older, but they were all still good. And it was like them and like Boris Diaw and Kawhi and like Patty Mills on the court, like that championship when we beat the Heat in 2014. That's the most beautiful basketball I've ever seen in my entire life. That like they truly were such a well-oiled machine. And so like on the floor, I think the basketball is incredible and is like unassailable. Off the court, you know, they could use some touch-ups, but like they were being who they are. They were being true to themselves, and I think there's a swag to that.
The on-court, off-court distinction is so important. No one ever really talks about that. Like when they talk about the swag crisis, it's sort of this like conflation of like Shea's foul baiting with his like kind of corny Instagram game. And I do think distinguishing them is like a fairly, like that's the totally correct thing to do.
Yeah. I think there's I don't know. Are you guys big Shea guys? Shea is somebody who I think definitely has a swag. He has a bunch of cool fits. I think he's got good on court swag just in terms of like the way he puts his jersey together, which is a whole other extra thing. It's like, do you have on court?
How's your sleeve game?
How's your like some guys are doing too much, some guys are not doing enough. And I think about that part of it a lot too. The on court, because you only have so many things available to you when you're on the basketball court. There's only so many different variations of how you do your socks and what you wear under your jersey and your headband. There's only so many things. I think Shea puts that together in a really cool way. But his actual style of basketball, to me, it doesn't really speak to me personally.
I think that's like as someone who bought a shooting sleeve as like a 9-year-old white kid in Sacramento because I liked Allen Iverson. That's like such a interesting like Jaylen Brown. I'm writing about Jaylen Brown right now. He always has the one sleeve on. He has the fuck ass hairline and like, but generally very like just lets the muscles speak for themselves. You know.
Yeah, which that's its own thing. He's doing like Karl Malone was like that. Sometimes you're just like, I got this body and people should see it. And there's something to that.
Devin, I honestly, the on the court sartorial decisions, something it's like you've like unlocked a new dimension for this podcast. We hadn't thought about the stuff like that because the few that come to my mind is like iconic. One was the Kelly Oubre, J.R. Smith Supreme armband. Getting banned for the Supreme. I mean, that was the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. Like J.R. Smith got Supreme tattooed on him.
Yes, I think after that, because they, which is amazing.
Yeah, nobody doing it like J.R. Really a one of one. I like J because J.R. is kind of all of us. J.R. is kind of like when he did that, when he like when he was dribbling the ball in circles in a moment where he needed to be going to the basket. That moment, I was just like, yeah, like I could see myself doing some shit like that. Like I love when an NBA player does some shit. I love when they shoot like a terrible shot and it doesn't get anywhere close because it makes me feel like I could have been on the court in that moment. And JR definitely was doing that.
A recent innovation. Have you seen Jalen Suggs' headband situation? He's been wearing it around his neck like a choker.
I like that. I
He'll
like that.
alternate between top and bottom of head. Defector's data guy has been tracking his performances based on his headband location, and it is better around his neck. But the NBA did just say you can't do that anymore.
Why?
They're hating.
Why can't you wear it around your neck?
Like I don't really think you can make a case that it's like illegally performance enhancing or degrading. I think it's just like it looks weird kind of thing, which I disagree.
Well, because
they banned.
Remember when they did that when the guys were doing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle headbands?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that those looked kind of silly personally, but I'm also like, what? Why not? Like, I don't understand it's not like a safety thing, and it's not like obstructing the game in any kind of way. I can't really understand why some of these decisions get made.
Suggs is saying it originates as football drip. That's where it stems from. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Football players like Deion Sanders, I feel like would wear like a headband around his neck.
I think this is controversial in this department, but because I've seen Pat Spencer get called out for this, the black under t-shirt under the jersey. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think it's awesome.
Interesting.
I think the like fucked up, just like you're just wearing like a Hanes t-shirt under your NBA jersey is so sick. Like and speaking of when football players will wear the like hoodie, they're just wearing like a hoodie under their NFL jersey. It's like, that's the coolest shit ever. I want more of that. And I by the looks of your faces, I might be alone here.
Pat Spencer's got some work to do. Pat,
you don't like what he's doing?
Pat Spencer's got some work to do because he could really be a hero to like white America everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He's got such a cool story because he was like a lacrosse star he was like a high school basketball star who was playing college lacrosse and then went back into basketball and then went to the league, which is so nuts. It's so crazy when he just like hadn't been playing. He's like, oh yeah, I want to go to the NBA, and then
so sick.
He could be an inspiration to little white boys in Sacramento and all other parts of America. Like I think a lot of little white kids are looking for that type of inspiration in the league. And I think he is fucking it up by, I'm not here for the black undershirt. I think that's silly. I don't think it's swaggy at all. And why the fuck is he number 67? What is that? Why would he be number 6? If you don't get a regular number, if you don't just be number 22 or whatever number 16, be something normal, dog. I really don't like it when NBA players have football numbers. Remember Taj Gibson was always like 67.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure has some, and I bet you if this comes out, somebody's going to be like, well, actually it's because he lost a family member when they were 67. Yeah. I understand that. And I don't like how it looks on the basketball court, except for Jay Crowder was 99, and I always did like that. I like cool. Jay Crowder's 99, but outside of that, I don't like that Luka's number 77. VJ Edcomb's also number 70. Those are ugly numbers that you're wearing an offensive tackle number, and you're playing basket. Get a cool guy number, be number 2, be number 8. Like stop being silly with these high numbers. It's ugly.
And Pat Spencer's brother on the Grizzlies is 58. So there's something going on in that family. I know.
Ew. Those numbers are
the
not
only
cool
other
in
one
any
I'll
sport.
No.
What I think Ron Artest was maybe
91.
Like, was he 91?
Yeah. He was 91.
Yeah.
I don't mind 91. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because Dennis Rodman on the Bulls was 91, and so like I just have a good like connotation with it. But for whatever reason that doesn't bother me. But like
what's the worst number you could think of that someone could have? 1 to 100.
58
68 is nasty. Because it's like he's 61. 61 is disgusting. Anything, if you're gonna do a 50s number, I think you can be number 50, or you can be number like 55, like white chocolate. I don't mind that. I don't really know even what the rules are with this. No numbers in the 60s. That just doesn't work for me. No numbers in the 70s, really. The 80s, I think, is also, I don't really want to see 80 on a basketball jersey. 90s, for and I don't ask me why these are the rules in my head, but some 99 I do think looks cool. 91 I think you could get away with, but outside of that, I don't think you should really have anything above like 40 in the NBA. Like Harrison Barnes is 40, and it really fits. He feels like that feels like the number he should have. You know what I was like? Harrison Barnes, he's from Iowa. He's got 40. That's always made sense to me. But outside of that, there's only 12 guys on the roster. There's no excuse to not have a good number. In the NFL, there's 50, 60, 70 guys on the team. So it's like, some guys got to have some fuck-ass numbers. NBA, there's enough numbers to go around. There's 100 numbers to choose from. Pick something. Pick something good. You don't even have to be in the 40s and 50s. It's gross.
What were your guys' numbers when you played sports?
I was low because for me, because I drank, we were talking off mic, but I stunted my growth by drinking all this coffee. I was short, and all the smalls were fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it did used to be like that. It would be size based. Yeah, I forgot about that. The little jerseys would go up to like 7, and then it'd be the medium jerseys were like 9 to 15. I was like a chubbier kid when I was growing up. So like I would rock like a 21, like Tim Duncan, 21, or I really liked, me and my big brother were both born on the 13th of different months. And so I liked 13 as a number too. And that was usually available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was always 11, but like, sort of how Devon was talking about, like you can't really, there's no mathematical basis to why like 61 looks bad. I just like the aesthetics of the 1-1. Yeah.
Jamal Crawford. That's the number. That's the 11 that I think of.
One of the swag. Wait, speaking of Harrison Barnes and swag, to me, Barnes is the exemplar of this like kind of 2013, like a generation of players after the dress code has been invented, where it's like the Russell Westbrook really tight fitting 3-piece suit, which is like a real sort of a low point in NBA off court swag, I have to say. And like Harrison Barnes still wears that shit.
Stuff happening. There was nasty stuff happening in that era. Russ was trying a lot. LeBron was trying a lot of stuff. Remember when he had the like park ranger hat? Remember when he was doing the hats like Pharrell? Remember during
with
that
the fake
era
glasses?
Like, woo! Guys were making.
There's a great two things. There's a great old Grantland piece called the Rise of the NBA Nerd that Wesley Morris wrote that basically kind of outlines the beginning of all this stuff. And it's literally like the headline is LeBron in these like, glasses, Kevin Durant at the press conference with the backpack on.
Oh, I'll never forget. This is they had it cool because everybody was kind of trying to do like a Kanye thing. Everybody was kind of trying to do like a streetwear prep thing, but not everybody has that in them inherently. So they're like, oh, Kanye looks kind of nerdy and geeky, and I'm going to try to hit that. But if you don't get it exactly right, then you look like you look like a scientist in a movie, and that's not what any of them were aiming for. But that is how some of them came out. Yeah, I remember that.
The other thing I was listening to a recent episode of your podcast, Devon, and you guys were really right to talk about the insidious, destructive power of the 2009 to 2012 GQ editorial board. And there is you guys should look it up. Whatever you think it is, the visuals are even crazier. What is it? The 2010 Kendrick Lamar GQ cover shoot. Yep. It's like you guys were talking about it, and they the video I was watching like flashed some stuff on the screen.
Oh wow!
I don't even really know what to say about these pictures.
It felt like they wanted him to fail. It felt like it really felt like they were like, because it's also like that's before Kendrick was like the superstar that he is today. So I'd imagine he just had less sort of say so over like the way that the shoot went. And I've done some of these shoots too, and it's like also Kendrick's not, I mean, now he's like a more stylish guy, but that's not how he came into the game. He didn't come in really being clothes first. He was like a rapper first, and he was thinking about things from that angle. So I could see a world in which, like, if you go into some of these shoots, I've done a GQ thing, and they will just have a bunch of clothes, and they'll have a stylist, and if you don't have an opinion, they will just put you in some shit. If you don't say no, they will put you in whatever they think they want to see you in, and that's how you get yourself in trouble. That's how you end up sitting on a bar stool with 2 drumsticks and a newsboy hat. That's how you end up in that position. And they had him out there looking silly. We talked about it on the pod, but there's one where they have him holding an electric guitar, jumping off a big speaker, and he's doing that face where he's like, yeah. And it's like, that's not fitting to any of his music. They didn't even listen to the album. They had him out here looking like, looking like Huey Lewis. And that's not, he should never look like that.
No, I mean, you're right. And again, respect to my short kings out there, but just rocking like a J. Crew slim fit, size small suit, you know?
Derrick Rose has some crazy shoots that he did with GQ. They had him in some wild stuff.
When did that paradigm kind of break then? Or who do you think is responsible for breaking it? Because I feel like by 2015, 16, we're in like a totally different era. And maybe this is just like, maybe this is just a sort of, I don't know, like rap got to a different place, culture moved to a different place, like the sort of, the preppy shit really went out of fashion like very quickly, but I can't really think of like what sort of moved it away. Like, I'm just going to look up like what KD was dressing like in 2016.
KD's also a guy. I mean, this is something that we all know. This is, you know, I'm not breaking any new news here, but KD is just a guy who like truly does not seem to care about anything other than basketball.
Yeah.
And so I feel like he's definitely a guy who I feel like a stylist is like, here's what guys are wearing now. And he's like, okay, sure, I'll put that on. And now KD, I feel like when he was in OKC, I feel like he was around Russ and Harden, who were trying to do fashion shit, especially Russ. And Harden kind of got into that bag as well. And I think KD was like trying to keep up. Now I feel like KD's gotten into a really like, he's dressing like Kevin Love. He's just kind of wearing like black pants and like a hoodie and like a jacket on top. And it's all very like normal guy fit, like a little stylish normal guy stuff, which is probably where he's not taking any swings anymore. And some guys need to be that. Some guys, it's like you just need to put on like clothes that fit and are like kind of unassuming. And I feel like KD's in that bag now.
And
KD is like, he's sending the Maduro perp walk photos to his stylist, being like, can I get an ID on this stuff?
Yeah.
I think of KD as someone who has very good on-court swag, though. Like the fact that his socks and his like tights don't meet, but there's like this thin strip of calf you can see. I always thought that like the least leg you could show in the right place was like the cool zone that you were going for leg wise.
I think the issue that I think KD runs into is oftentimes he hasn't lotioned his legs, and so the little gap that you see is just like gray, cracked skin because my boy's not moisturizing because he's just hooping.
He's just thinking about basketball.
And that's why he's one of the greats. It's like, again, this has been said a lot of times, but it's like he's not getting a haircut.
Right.
He's not concerned about getting his hair braided. His shit's not like just so. He rolls straight out of bed and he said it's time to get shots up. And that's why he's got like 50, 40, 90 shooting splits damn near every year. Because it's straight to the court. He don't got no girlfriend. He don't got no kids. He's not at the club. He's doing dribbling drills from the moment he opens his eyes. And that's why he's great.
The only other, to answer your question, Patrick, earlier about like what delineated this era, sartorial swing that I have to say I fucked with at the time. I still fuck with it. I think I'm gonna get some more hate for this, but the draft suits that were shorts, that was the first of all, that was fire.
Yeah.
This is the only cool thing Trae Young's ever done was wear the draft suit shorts. and that bridged like that was like, okay, we're done. We're done with kind of like J. Crew Slim Tie era.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving into like experimental, what's going on right now, which is what I would say is the fashion North Star right now is kind of more like avant-garde, which is cool. I like that NBA players are dressing kind of more avant-garde. I do agree that you can tell when it's their stylists who are suggesting the avant-garde stuff and not them, but I like the general turn.
Yeah, I think now hip hop. I mean, all these guys, like all these eras, these guys are taking their cues from rappers. And right now in rap, it's like I feel like a lot of these young guys, especially their North Stars, like Playboy Cardi, and so like everybody's in like it's like we're in a Rick Owens kind of like Raph Simmons era of the league where like that's all their guys want to dress kind of like Dracula if he had $10 million. Like it's all like goth, like really expensive goth looks. I feel like is really popping right now, and like a lot of silver jewelry for like the real fashion guys, which is like oftentimes are not the best players in the league, which maybe there's something to find in that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's somebody draw up a graph with that.
Like Durant on one extreme. I'm trying to think of who's like a bad player who has great swag.
Kyle Kuzma.
I was about to say it. Yeah,
Kyle
Kuzma.
Kuz is like he's not really getting you what you want on the court, but he has some really, really cool outfits.
No, 100%. I feel like he got a third contract off the strength of his fits. Like,
really, really good tunnel player. Everybody was making fun of him when he wore that like sweater with the really long sleeves. I thought it was cool.
It looks cool.
I liked that,
dude.
I liked the sweater.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I was rocking with that. Kuz's got some really good stuff. Shea also does have some really, really good fits.
It's true.
I'm not shitting on this guy. I think he's a really good six man, but Jordan Clarkson is also a guy who I feel like he's got good on court swag and off court swag, and I feel like will get you a smooth like 18 a game. He's got like a Jamal Crawfordness to his like what he's doing on the court.
And something that Clarkson and Kuzma have in common is they started their career with the Lakers, and like. Maybe if you're like a first round pick in LA as like a 21-year-old, like you probably have your pick of like any stylist you want. You probably have like good access to stuff, I imagine.
To your point, D'Angelo Russell, another really, really swaggy guy who started on the Lakers and is not, probably not fulfilled what maybe people thought his promise would be. Although I like D'Angelo Russell, but again, getting my cues from the basketball podcast I listen to, those guys shit on D'Angelo Russell a lot. The like real hoop heads, like the real guys who are looking at all the advanced stats, they cannot stand him.
They are literally like, we ran the advanced analytics on D'Angelo Russell and our computer froze.
Yeah, like, none of those guys like him.
Shit. The plus minus has never been lower.
Yeah.
Before we get you out of here, the original one of the things we want to talk about, which we've gone a bunch of different ways, but is you do this podcast about rap music and lyrics and all of that. There's a long history of crossover between NBA players and music of all kinds, mostly rap music. I have a big picture question, and then we can get into, because I pulled some the more recent kind of trend that I have think is kind of interesting. I have some mixed feelings about, but it's like there's also a bunch of rappers who are dropping like more and more obscure players in their raps, which I have to say I do find that to be quite funny.
Same.
But let me ask you first about the NBA players. Like, big picture, when you hear an NBA player coming out with a album or a music project, like what's your reaction to that?
My reaction is no, thank you. My reaction is follow your bliss. And I think it's important, especially once you've achieved success in like one creative field. I think it is important to have like another outlet that's not tied into your, the way that you make a living. I think that's really important. And so I appreciate that they have that. I just personally don't want to listen to it. That's not because it's never awesome. Because it's like that's not the thing they've been practicing. They've been practicing, they've been practicing how to beat the fucking zone defense. They haven't been practicing how to rap or how to rhyme. And so I don't want to hear it, but I'm glad they found that.
Yeah, I feel like when Dame got traded, I saw so many tweets from Portland fans being like, well, at least I don't have to listen to his music anymore. And he was like he was the one that, he's the one NBA player that everyone's like, he can actually rap.
People did say that. I checked out a couple tracks. It's also, I didn't think it was bad, but I don't know. I'm not putting that in my headphones personally. There's so many guys who rap professionally that I can, and the guys the rappers that I like, I don't want to watch hoop. So it's just like, I know you for doing this, I want to see you do the thing that you're really good at.
And even you get like, you joke, but it's like you're there. I have for whatever reason seen Quavo take a step back three.
Oh,
Quavo's
kind of nice. Quavo's good. Quavo's kind of nice. I've seen
Lil Durk.
Yeah, fucking Bieber. Bieber can hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Bieber was in the All-Star game maybe like 9-10 years ago and was like really kind of crossing fools up. Lil Romeo can really do some damage on the court. But again, it's that's not what I want to pay to see them do. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure.
The only song made by a athlete that I think is a legitimate smash is "Perfect Timing" by Shadur Sanders.
I do like that song.
Actually amazing.
I do like "Perfect Timing." That's fair. I actually kind of am here for like these guys having like one or two songs that connects and then kind of like getting back out the game. But I don't think these guys I don't think you should have an album out. I think you should like do a couple tracks. And if people like it, cool. But yeah, I do like "Perfect Timing." I also just really root for Shadur. I think most Black Americans, I feel like, really hope he is successful. So far, it's not going awesome. But also, what it doesn't go awesome for any Cleveland Browns quarterback. So it's like, how much more could we expect? Really, he's just kind of doing.
Right, he's actually playing.
He's doing what every Cleveland Browns quarterback does, which is be kind of bad. So
yeah, impossible situation.
But I'm rooting for him though. Shout out Shadur.
An incredibly disconcerting song I saw was, which I was going through some lists looking at this. Do you guys remember that Aaron Gordon released a song called 9 out of 10, which is a diss track at Dwayne Wade for giving him a 9 out of 10 on the dunk contest?
Every subsequent noun in that sentence just like gave me a worse and worse headache.
Yeah.
9 out of 10, I'ma keep his end. 9 out of 10, can you please fix your lens? 9 out of 10, got you playing pretend.
No, this is brand new information to me. I didn't know Aaron Gordon ever did anything with rap at all. But also, to be fair to Aaron Gordon, he did get robbed. He did some incredible shit in that dunk competition. He should have won. So I'm on his side with that.
Yeah, fair
yeah, I didn't know that.
And then, so yeah, I guess now you do. All right. Well, listen, we could do a whole thing on the rappers rapping about NBA players, but before we're close to time, so we'll have to have you on again.
Yeah.
I did want to talk just a little bit about your podcast, because another thing that we track on this show is the sort of lineage of the internet.
Yeah.
And your show reminds me a lot of a blog I used to love, which was snacksandshit.com.
Okay.
Do you remember snacksandshit.com? Was this ever a part? Do either of you guys? Okay, so this was a Tumblr that was pretty popping in the kind of, around that time where like Tumblrs were popping, for better or for worse. And it was just every post was a different funny rap lyric.
Oh.
And so it would be like, it must have been like, must be some snacks and I want to say it's like a 2 Chainz line. Like that's what it's from. It's like, I was eating snacks and shit or something.
Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of really good ones.
So that old Tumblr, like your show makes me think of this. And I do really like celebrating the kind of, funny or obscure or notable, absurd lyrics, because it's like, I mean, that is definitely a big part of why I like rap music. Like it's fun. So just to say, great job. Everybody should check it out. And what have you learned about rap through doing this podcast?
I think I think it wasn't so much that I've like learned a ton through the pod. I think legitimately I wanted to start something. I wanted to start a podcast. And I think I was just like, what is something that I feel like I could talk about for hours on end? And I think about lyrics all the time. There's like always a song that's stuck in my head. There's always some kind of, y'all had some stuff in the doc that you sent me.
We can talk about them. I if you got time, I got some time to talk about.
I kind of got to get it. I kind of got to go soon-ish. I'm about to go. I've been playing tennis, and I got to go.
Ooh.
I'm playing tennis in like 40 minutes. So I'm getting ready to do that. That's if y'all see me.
Yeah, you're walking around.
I'm like putting socks and shorts on and stuff. But
I got a little of the ones that I sent, which ones were stuck with you? Or did you add the Soda Baby one? Or was that
he
you, Patrick?
hates Rodney Stuckey.
Because they're all Michigan guys. They're all Michigan guys.
Yeah.
And he hates who did he hate? Killian Hayes?
Killian Hayes, yeah.
I mean, dude.
I
feel that.
I wasn't watching that era of Detroit basketball when they were like in the wilderness. Who's y'all's teams? Are you a Kings fan?
Unfortunately. Harry's a Warriors guy.
I'm a Warriors guy. So
you've had a lot of nice times.
We've been okay.
Fine. So y'all are both like Northern California guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I do like that kind of like hyper specific stuff because it's like so many rappers will talk about, a lot. There's so many Steph Curry bars, there's so many LeBron bars, the like great players of our era. But I love when somebody has like a vitriol towards like a guy who it's like, oh, you really watch ball. And every single any sports fan has like one or two guys that they're just like, oh, I hate when he gets the fucking ball. Like as a Spurs fan, I used to get really pissed off whenever Danny Green would try to dribble because he couldn't do it. He was just like, he was not a dribbler. If he did anything other than catch the ball and shoot the ball, I'd be like, no, Danny, no. Don't do that. So somebody being mad at Rodney Stuckey, a guy who like you have to love a team to hate Rodney Stuckey. Or there's that one line about like the guy was like he's like my Glock like black and ugly. I call it Tony Snell.
Yeah, bees.
Tony Snell.
Yeah, that's the Detroit guys are really on top of that, and they have some of the funniest like rap bars overall about basketball players and just like in general. Because what did Rodney Stuckey do to anybody?
I asked our music writer Israel Daramola for some suggestions, and he points out another Sada Baby verse where he says, "He got muscles for no reason." Eric Bledsoe, which is so good.
Yeah, iconic.
That's beautiful. Eric Bledsoe. See, I love that. I love when somebody. I feel like Action Bronson's always like referencing a guy too. That's like, this isn't exactly who it'd be, but like he's always talking about like eating filleted salmon with Tony Kukoc or whatever. He's always referencing a guy that you haven't thought about in like 15 years. Like if anybody, I want my rappers to be bringing Boris Diaw bars out. Like that's
Boris Diaw would be, yeah.
I love Boris. He's actually one of my favorite Spurs of all time.
He's amazing.
No, he's.
And I also love a professional athlete that isn't in shape all the time. Like but it's still really good. I like that because he was awesome, and you could tell you're like, oh, he's he's having wine and croissants during the season.
He's a
without a
gourmand.
doubt. Yeah. I fuck with Boris heavy, actually. And also, if y'all watch any of those, like if you ever go back and watch those playoff teams, like Boris was like staying with LeBron. Not to say, and that nobody was stopping LeBron, but he could at least give him a couple, between him and Kawhi, they could like slow LeBron down somewhat.
Again, yeah,
two
being
really
strong.
different looks.
Yes.
From a BMI perspective.
Because he's like 6'9", like 260.
Yeah.
He's like a big round boy. So shout out to Boris.
Well,
shout out to Boris.
All right.
Good luck on the tennis court today.
Yeah.
Hope that backhand is snapping.
Yeah, my girlfriend got me a new racket, so I'm about to go see what's up.
Nice.
Bang. Anything you got to plug before we get you out of here?
Man, guys, listen. Yeah, this is my joint. Y'all, listen to my favorite lyrics. It really is so fun, and it's so fun. It's so funny. It's a lot of comedians, but we also have musicians on, and we just invite people to talk about like a music lyric that they can't stop thinking about. And we will talk about everything from like Britney Spears to like Babyface Ray to like 2 Chainz to Steely Dan. We really get into all of it. We have people from like all corners. We'll have like all different types of comedians, like my friends from SNL. We've had Cupid, the creator of the Cupid Shuffle, has been on the podcast, and everyone.
I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, we got an episode with Cupid. Really, really nice guy. He's cool people. So y'all tune in. It legitimately is like very, very fun. So y'all tap in with me.
And it's great. Yeah.
And,
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, guys.